Hey everyone, it's Tom, and today on 2 Minutes with Tom, I want to talk about effective communications. Now, one of the things I observe is a lot of people care about being heard but not being understood. And to be an effective communicator, you really want to work on the ladder of being understood. So really, today what I want to do is talk about 3 different ways to improve your communication style. Number 1 is by showing respect and listening to the person you're speaking with. If we want to get respect and people to listen to us, we need to do that with other people. So really listen and show respect to the person talking with you. Number 2 is actually understanding the communication path, and when we go across and we talk with somebody else, there's 3 different elements that come across to the audience. That's going to be our nonverbal cues, that's going to be our tone of voice, and that's going to be actually the message or the verbiage that we use. Now, studies have actually shown that the most important element when we're communicating with somebody is actually our nonverbal cues. How we roll our eyes, do we shrug our shoulders, do we not look at the speakers in the eye? That actually counts for 55% of the message. So the highest weight percentage when communicating is going to be nonverbal cues. Now, the next piece is actually going to be our tone of voice, and that's 38% of the message comes from our tone of voice. So we can talk to our animals and saying, I love you, and they wag their tails. Or we can say, I love you, and they cringe. Even though we're using the same words, it's that tone of voice that really matters. And then the last part is actually the verbiage of the words we use, and that's 7%. So there is some merit to it, but the most important pieces that we really want to focus on to be an effective communicator or communicating is really talk about our tone of voice and also talk about our nonverbal cues. So really be aware of those 2 elements. And then the third piece I really want people to understand and work on to be an effective communicator is knowing your audience. Are they people who want to get in and out of meeting? Do they really want to digest the information before they make a decision? Do they want to build a bond in a relationship before they really get into business or into a conversation? By knowing your audience, that's going to help you become an effective communicator, because if they're not listening, there's no way you can be understood. But if they're relaxed and they respect you, they have a better chance of listening to you, and then you can be understood. So if you really want to become a better communicator and effectively communicate with your audience, you really want to show respect to the person you're speaking with, know how you communicate with your nonverbal, your tone of voice, and also the verbs or verbiage and the words you use. And then the third part is knowing your audience. So I'm going to leave it up to you. There's a reason I think we've been designed with 1 mouth and 2 ears, and that's to listen more. And to be an effective communicator, I think that's something we need to all do a little more of. So don't worry about being heard, but worry about being understood.